Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. General reading, take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your other major placements if you wish. I'll be doing an extended over on Vimeo as well today. So for over here, we're going to do just oracle cards. That seems to work well for me. And then over on Vimeo, we'll do a more traditional tarot spread. So let's see what oracle cards we've got going on here. For Cancer. Oh my goodness. Hello, card. Let's see. Okay. Anything else from that grouping? Okay. All right. Really taking care of yourself, it looks like. We have Miss Sunshine here talking about taking care with your thoughts, with what you're focusing on, what your focus is. This always reminds me of like a gratitude focus of gratitude can be a pretty simple way to just keep yourself feeling up and elevated. I mean, not trying to be happy, but just making sure you're paying attention to the things in your life that are good. But as you sort of grow and as you become as you fill your mind more with wonderful ideas and thoughts and the things that you do want in life, rather than focusing on the things you don't want in life, some things start becoming apparent. So as your sort of vibe is rising here, we have this dark underbelly. This could be something structural in your life that's a little bit difficult to deal with. You don't always want to look at it. Your intuition is down here. That was a funny thing that came out of my mind there. You can start to see this structure as it comes towards the light. So this requires unconditional love of yourself in order to be able to see some of these sort of darker parts of yourself, things that you might be ashamed of, or even deal with some of the harder, more difficult aspects of your life, truths about your life. So staying, I don't want to say stay positive, because the toxic positivity can be really difficult, you know. Stay positive, don't look at anything negative. This is, you know, staying in gratitude and staying positive, but that's meant to allow you to look more clearly at this sort of dark underbelly here. So and to do so, look at these aspects of yourself and your life with unconditional love. Not necessarily unconditional thrill, not necessarily unconditional like, but unconditional love down here. So we have the Miss Sunshine here. We also have Listen. So again, we have this sort of dichotomy of this sun up here and this sort of darker, maybe even restful, right? We get a real restful vibe here. Area underneath. So this is listening to what's being said, what's not being said, but there also seems to be a sense of like a deepening of something, a deepening of understanding. As you listen, there's a rooting process. There's something under the surface here that you need to be paying attention to, possibly under your surface, some sort of subconscious issues or something that you just kind of keep hidden or keep in the shadows. There's something that you need to pay attention to on the flip side. On the B side of your life, I don't know, you know, records had like this one side with all the great songs and then the other side with all the, you know, songs to fill out the record. So this is really staying positive, but as you're dealing with these aspects of the B side, some of the parts of your life that you're not your best foot forward, but your worst foot that you kind of left back here, right? So so we've got a best foot forward, but we've got something behind it, something much more difficult. And I want to say, like, listening to, right, we were talking about like false positivity and, you know, keeping the vibe high and never, ever, ever admitting that you had a bad day. because that's not the full spectrum of life. We're here for the full thing, not just the difficulties. So there's this sort of shadow situation, and you need to be there's something important in there that you need to be paying attention to and listening to. There's like a sense though that this will be coming into the light, right? Both of these together with this dichotomy of the light up here, and then the thing that we're listening to, the thing that we're paying attention to is this thing down here. And then there's this sense that this is going to be coming to the light. So as this aspect comes to the light, we need to be paying attention to it. We need to be paying attention to ourselves, paying attention to how we feel, and bringing it forward more. I've talked already in this reading about unconditional love, but it's very difficult to look at those selves. Like, I think the thing about false positivity and the keeping the vibe high no matter what, I mean, there's a sense where we have to choose our own thoughts, and you get moments and you have to be able to slow your thoughts down. That's where meditation comes in handy in order to make conscious choices about what you're going to focus on. But this is the thing about the false positivity, is it's not unconditional love for every aspect of yourself. It's saying we don't like these aspects, and these aspects of ourselves and these feelings that we have are damaging and horrible, and basically you just end up keeping that all even more hidden rather than having a fully integrated personality where you're dealing with your lights and your shadows and you're fully integrated. I mean, like, pathology really happens when we're shoving something aside and we're not dealing with and not working with and not incorporating all aspects of ourselves, but we end up with this duality of this sunshine that we show and this darkness that we keep to ourselves and maybe have some shame over. Maybe we're surrounded by people that aren't going to allow us to experience that or to be our full, complete selves. So there is a sense of, there's a dichotomy here, and there's a sense of you being asked, and I feel like there's a lot of personal growth here, and you're ready now to look into an aspect that you've kept in the shadows and you've hidden, and really try to listen to it and try to understand what it is, what is this part of yourself and what it's asking you to do. It feels like with this Miss Sunshine card here that you're strong enough to do that, to listen to and pay attention to this part. So this is also, I'm glad these three came out together. We have this elixir of life, and this is, so these difficulties may be arising, these difficult emotions may be arising all by themselves, and this is just a reminder to listen to them. Don't just shove them back down, because as you rise and as you grow, it creates opportunities you have this strength, right? We talk about the Two of Swords, which is denial, and denial is really important because it means, we can only be in denial if we've actually seen a nugget of truth here, if we've actually got this little nugget of truth there. Then our mind's like, oh, I'm not ready for that. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. So that's important, and that's good, because we're just not ready for it, and it can be really overwhelming. But the whole point of growth is to allow, not the whole point, but the point of growth is to allow more and more of that, of ourselves, to come out of denial and to come out of the shadows. So we grow, we become stronger, and we're more able to see these things. So when you're coming out of denial, you don't need to have shame about having done that. That's what you needed to do for a time, and now it's time to allow something to start emerging, see what it has to bring to your life, see what growth that you can find there and what you can learn from that. So what it means when you start to see different things and start to understand different aspects of yourself is that you're ready to do that. Your mind isn't shutting it off and shutting it down and pretending it's not seeing things anymore or seeing that particular thing. I have a feeling that we're all in denial about some things almost all of the time. So this elixir of life is, as these darker things come up, or darker things, or these things that you have hidden from yourself or from others, be sure that you're taking care of your body, making sure that you're nurturing yourself, and making sure that you're enjoying being alive, being incarnated, being in a body, and taking a lot of joy in that. So that can either be eating nutritious and delicious food, right? I always talk about blueberries and raspberries with this. I love both of those. So this would be a reminder to me to make sure I'm getting my favorite fruit and indulging in that. So making sure, because all of this stuff can be a little heavy. So this is about making sure that your body isn't just a source of pain and frustration, but is also intentionally a source of pleasure and joy, and nurturing that, and taking joy in being, in having incarnated. It's very special to be alive. We can't be alive without these bodies, and making sure you're giving your body a nice thank you gift every so often for allowing you to have these experiences. So funny how we hate our bodies so often. You know, there's a profit incentive for that to cause us to hate our bodies, but they're the whole reason we're alive. So I truly believe you can't hate yourself into loving yourself, right? Can't hate your body into a space of suddenly loving your body. So love it at every size, every shape. So we have a new start is coming, which this hints at this emergence of something into the light from a place of more private growth and emerging here. So we have this new moon. So new moon talking about privacy, darkness, and something emerging out of that. So this sort of seed-like idea of we've done our germination, we've set down some roots down here, and then now we're going to be starting to come into the light. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. So this is something that you see that you want, and you're going to need to get practical about it. Get organized, figure out what the different things you need to do are. This is very real world stuff. Like, we can dream, we can imagine, but this is very real world. What's the plan? What's the plan for moving something forward? A plan that we already have the plan. It's talking about not the dream, but the plan for execution. So something here needs a plan for execution. Maybe you need to plan out how you're going to deal with these things when they do start to emerge. And confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. This one actually came out in the shuffle too. So, but in the pre-shuffle before I turn on the camera. Confidence is your key to success. So being confident, and this can go a couple different ways. Being confident in yourself and being able to deal with whatever's coming up, whatever's arising. And also being confident that this dream can come true, and that you do have the ability to make it practical, to achieve your practical plan. So you can make the practical plan, and you need to make it with full confidence that you're going to be able to achieve this. Practical plan isn't much good if we're just sitting there thinking, if it's just, you know, if we don't think we can accomplish it. So being confident, and I would say making a practical plan that embodies your confidence. Like, your practical plan, I feel like it needs to be bold and expansive. And we can only make a practical plan like that, like a realistic practical plan, if we realistically feel that we can accomplish that. So so having confidence is going to help you build a bigger plan, or build a better plan, like knowing that you can do this. It needs to be part of the plan, and part of the planning stage is having confidence in yourself and your abilities. All right. Interesting. Because we have this illusion card here. Very popular card. It's come out in the last several readings. So something here may be upsetting, right? Again, we're getting like something, again, there's like this mirror vibe, or there's this duality, these two worlds, this upper and this lower world, this obvious and this hidden world. And we got that too with this new moon and this full moon, right? We have this, what's in darkness here. So I feel like something in darkness is emerging. That's what I'm getting from the Moonology cards. The confidence going into the unknown, but there's also a known here. This is like the broad daylight. This is the upper here. it needs a practical plan. The reality needs a practical plan. The dream in the darkness here requires confidence in order to begin something. So you're beginning something, you're planning something, and you need to have confidence in it. And this sort of dream, maybe this isn't even subconscious issues. Sometimes it takes a while for the message to come out. But sometimes this isn't even, this could be like a dream or something coming, and as you're feeling more confident, as you're feeling clearer and more confident, more of this dream can start to come into the light, into reality, and be born. So that's what I'm seeing now with both of these, is you have a dream. It's time now for the practical plan so that the new start can actually come into reality. And you need to have some confidence in yourself there, staying positive and confident in yourself that you're going to be able to bring that forward. Okay, so we have illusion, we have something upsetting, but it's just in your mind. It's your perception of something, right? This is a mirror. This is actually, we have 2 cards of garbage here. So there's something that's on its way out. There's something that, this is really interesting, because this one is saying that in this sort of trash heap of the past, there's something that you're upset about, but it's just your perception of it. So that can be very gaslighty. So just being very careful with, it's just your perception, right? You're upset about something, but it is coming more from you. It's a Rorschach blotch. It's your interpretation of something. So this crow thinks he's yelling at another crow, and he's not, he's yelling at himself. So the mirror is broken, the perception is broken, it's ready to be tossed out. There could be something in the past here, but the perception of it is a little bit broken. That's what I want to say. Not that it's right. We were talking about denial and that kind of thing. So there could be something from your past that you're just not seeing very clearly right now, and that your perception of it is broken. And what I love about this is we have this key. There is a way to figure out if something's real or not. Asking questions, checking your perception. But this is just to say there's something that's not quite as it seems. Then we have scavenge. So this again is something from the past, something back there, and there's very useful information here. That's what I'm saying here is like there's something from the past, your perception of it is broken, but once you start investigating, you're going to find something very useful for the future and useful for this new thing that's coming in. Then we have soar. So there's a lot of work goes into something, and then there's a moment when there's ease, when we get the perspective that we're looking for, when we have this ease. And I'm also getting this from this Little Miss Sunshine, this rise, this gentle, easy rise into the light, into clarity. So there's some ease coming in here. There's something that's very easy, but it comes after a lot of work. And there's a moment of getting to glide, getting to coast for a little bit. There's something in your past. I think your perception may be a little skewed on it. I don't know we all have our own perception. We all have our own perspective, and we're entitled to that. But there's something upsetting you, but it doesn't need to upset you. It's not necessary. It's not necessarily an upsetting thing. And it could just be being upset with yourself and wanting to go back and figure out why that is, because there is something back there that's useful for you and for your personal growth. So, all right, Cancer, if you'd like to join me on Vimeo, please do. If not, I'll see you guys in a while.